Hi everyone, my name is Carlos, DataGrant CEO here. This time, I'm going to show you a quick overview on pipelines, our most powerful feature. So let's start by creating a new pipeline here. And the first thing that you're going to see is a canvas. One of the things to consider is that we have three elements on the right. The first one are integrations, operators, and destinations, which is the third one. With these three elements, you're going to be able to build any data automation or workflow that you want. The first one, obviously, is integration. So once you integrate your data sources to DataGrant, you're going to be able to see them. One of the mistakes that we see some customers make is, for example, to drag and drop, first destinations, and then trying to, for example, drag and drop an integration and trying to connect it. That is not allowed. We need to have an ordered flows for this to work. So let me just delete this one. I'm just selecting them and tap and hitting delete so that I can delete these elements. So we need to follow this flow, right? So the first one is obviously integrations. So I'm just gonna drag and drop it. And the reason this is important is because this acts as the input of the flow. Okay. The second one is operators. Operators are the ones that transform your data. We have several options to transform your data, from AI with NLP to advanced operators. I'm not going to go into that. For that, we have specific documentation. But for this case, I'm just going to select the SQL operator. I'm going to connect it to the integration. And what this means is that all the tables that I have here are going to be sent to this operator. Once I do this, I can edit the operator and I can just transform my data and play with my data. I can then, for example, in the case of this operator, run the query, and then I can just hit and save and run. Once I hit save and run, or I can just hit the play button here, this is going to appear as successful. You're going to see all of your logs once you run it. And once that's done, you're going to be able to send the output table of this operator to your next operator or destination. You cannot send the output of the operator to an integration because, again, integrations are the beginning of the flow. So in this case, I'm going to be able to connect another SQL operator or a different operator if I want. Or again, I can select a destination. So for example, in this case, I'm just going to select a CSV and I'm going to connect it. As you can see, I don't get any errors because that's allowed. So if I have a successful operator here, once I run it, and then I send the output table automatically, the system is going to do that for me to this destination. Then I'm going to be able to configure this destination by, of course, hitting edit and putting all of the elements, and then save and running this destination, or just clicking here on this play button. The reason I always like hitting the play button is because I can test each one of these elements independently. So for example, if I connected my SQL operator to my integration and I want to check if it runs successfully, I just hit the play button. And then I can just connect the other one and hit the play button. But if you want to run the whole pipeline all together, you can just run it by hitting run, of course, or you can just schedule your pipeline by hitting schedule in here. But the most important concept to understand here in this quick overview on pipelines, and again, we have full documentation on this in our documentation section, is that we have three elements. Integrations is just the beginning of the flow. Operators are what transform the data, and these operators need to be connected either to other operators or to integrations. And then we have the destinations, which is what receive data either directly from an integration or from an operator, preferably an operator, because if I connect these, for example, and I'm just gonna delete this connection, if I connect it directly from the integration, probably the data is not gonna be processed so that the destination receives that data in a clean manner and in the format that is needed for that specific destination. Okay, so that's a quick overview on how pipelines work. Hope you like it, and if you have any feedback, please send it over. Thank you.